The topic is working of heart and circulation of blood. Now the right atrium, it receives the deoxygenated blood, that is impure blood from various parts of the body by larger vein, that is vena cava. So there are two vena cavas. First is superior vena cava, second is inferior vena cava. Superior vena cava brings the deoxygenated blood from all the body parts that are above the heart. An inferior vena cava will bring deoxygenated blood from all the body parts that are below the heart. So the left atrium will receive oxygenated blood from lungs by pulmonary veins. So when the deoxygenated blood from the lungs it gets oxygenated, it comes to the left atrium of the heart, which is being carried by the pulmonary vein. So both the atriums they act as the receiving chambers of the heart. Now both the atria will contract at the same time and their cuspid valves will open up. Between both the atria and ventricles, cuspid valves are present. Between the right atrium and right ventricle, tricuspid valve is present, and between the left atrium and left ventricle, bicuspid valve is present. So both the atria will contract at the same time, and blood from left atrium comes in the left ventricle, and from the right atrium it will come into the right ventricle. So blood from atrium will come into the ventricle. As we can see in this figure, it shows the right auricle, that is the right atrium and right ventricle, and it shows the left auricle and the left ventricle. So both the atrium will contract at the same time and the blood will reach in both the ventricles. Now both the atria will relax and ventricles will contract. The cuspid valves that are present between the atrium and ventricle, they are slammed shut and semilunar valves will open up. So semilunar valves are present between the right ventricle and the pulmonary artery that helps to carry the blood from right ventricles to the lungs. And semilunar valves are also present between the left ventricle and aorta. So semilunar valves will open up so that the blood can go from right ventricle to the pulmonary artery and from the left ventricle to the aorta. So the oxygenated blood from the left ventricle is pumped into the aorta and distributed to all the body parts by the arteries, and the deoxygenated blood from right ventricle is pumped into the pulmonary aorta and is transported to lungs by the pulmonary arteries for the oxygenation. So we can see in this figure that blood from right ventricle, that is the deoxygenated blood, it is pumped into the pulmonary artery, which is shown here. It will reach the lungs. From here it will get oxygenated, and this oxygenated blood it is pumped back into the left atrium through the pulmonary vein. Now this pulmonary vein will bring the oxygenated blood to the left auricle. Oxygenated blood from left auricle will go into the left ventricle, and this oxygenated blood is pumped into the aorta, which will take the oxygenated blood to the capillaries that helps to transport the oxygenated blood to the other organs like head, limbs and internal organs of the body. Since two times the blood is coming into the heart and two times it is going out of the heart, this type of circulation is known as double circulation,